Alright guys, so we got a couple of new items here from Rush FPV. This is the Tiny Tank Nano VTX, and they also sent me the Rush Cherry antenna here, and this one has the micro FL connector. I think previously I showed you the ones with the MMCX connector. I think they have ones with SMA and RPSMA connectors as well, but this micro FL connector has a locking mechanism here. And you probably saw this on the CADX Vista video. That one was a left-hand circular polarized micro FL connector. This is a right-hand circular polarized micro FL connector. And it locks by just sliding this in. And I think the way it works is it prevents the prongs from spreading out so that it makes it much harder for it to pop off. So I believe that this position here, like this, is the unlocked position, and then with it all the way in, that is the locked position. So that they sent along this, and I'll give you a weight of that for a second, and then the Nano VTX, and they also sent along this little microphone adapter. Can't use it with the Tiny Tank. I'm gonna have to use this in a future video, but I just want to show it to you. It's super tiny. You have ground, 5 volts, and audio. So you're gonna have to connect this to your VTX that has audio in, and power it with 5 volts. It has a little microphone here. You can place that somewhere in your drone, and if you're one of those pilots that like to listen to the audio sound on your Fat Shark goggles and a little microphone or a little earpiece that goes into your ear, then something like this might interest you. It's super tiny and lightweight and should fit pretty much anywhere, any drone, but you need a VTX that supports transmitting audio, and right now I don't think I have any that I can put it in. I think maybe Rush has their larger VTX. I'll have to look into that I might be able to use this on, but that'll be a future video. I'm going to put that to the side. The Tiny Tank does come with some extra stuff here I want to show you. You get a whip antenna. This is what it comes with, but this is not what I tested it with. I tested it with the Cherry antenna that you'll see later in the video. And you get some wire here for connecting up to your flight controller, and you get some clear heat shrink, although I would recommend not using this because the VTX will get very hot, and this just traps the heat. And then the Cherry antenna does come with some mounting hardware here, some M2 screws and nuts, and this little plastic piece here. There's specific types of mounts that on frames that this mount will work with, and then the tube will go into that center piece right there, like this. And let me just show you what it looks like here on some other. This is a different type of Cherry antenna. I think this is the one with the MMCX connector, but you can see the mount and how it works here on the back of this quad. Alright, so first let's give you some measurements here. It's about 12.5 millimeters wide, 16.9 millimeters long, and roughly 4.4 millimeters thick. And the weight of the VTX by itself is about 1.4 grams. And just for comparison, I believe the eSheen Nano VTX was like around 1 gram. So this is definitely heavier, but I think it might be due to this RF shield here. I think that's the main reason why it is heavier. And then if you throw on that whip antenna here, that's about 0.5 gram. So total altogether, yeah, it's about 2 grams. And then the weight of the Cherry antenna with the micro FL connector is roughly 2.4 grams. And then the weight of the little microphone adapter here is about 0.35 grams. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the VTX itself. And you can see here all the little solder points here on the bottom. And they're not labeled on the back side here. This is the exposed side. You can see the little micro FL connector there. There's a small button here for doing the band channel power changing operation, but if you can't access that button for whatever reason, you can solder on a external switch, and that's what the SW pad here is for on the very end. So you could solder something there. I think you have to also probably, if this is like a controller, you probably have to solder something to ground. You have 5 volts in and ground here. That's to power the VTX, and so if you go more than 5 volts on this VTX, you'll fry it. The data pad here is for Smart Audio. This is running Smart Audio 2.0 protocol, so if you're looking for a VTX table, Smart Audio 2.0 will work. And then you have 2 pads here for cam and VTX. So there's a number of different ways you could wire this up. On this side here, well, first, before I get to that wiring, let me explain what goes on the other side here. So if you want to power your camera from the VTX, you could connect your camera here to the cam port and 5 volts and ground here on this side. So for example, if you are not using a Betaflight OSD and you just want the video signal to go basically straight from the camera out to the basically transmit without the Betaflight OSD, then you could possibly use these. That's a very specific situation. Most people with a Betaflight OSD will not be using this, and I did not. So what I would recommend, and what I did is I wired it up with this VTX port here going to the flight controller to video out, and then the video in on the flight controller was connected to the camera. So I did not connect my camera to the video transmitter. I'll put up a little diagram here and it shows you the 3 different scenarios on how to wire this up, but I would recommend just wiring up VTX to flight controller and then your camera separate and have that powered or have that connected to the flight controller so you have your Betaflight OSD. That's probably the simplest. I think because you have 2 connections here makes it a little bit more confusing, but just follow the wiring diagrams, and then if you want a different situation, then you can just use one of the alternate wiring setups for your particular needs. So the VTX does come in pit mode by default, the factory. It is not locked, so all the channels are available. However, it is in pit mode and out of the factory, so you will, when you power it up, you will have to get your receiver very close to the transmitting antenna so that you can get a video signal. If it's like even a few inches away, it will basically have very, very poor video. And basically, you're going to want to go into your Betaflight OSD and go into the VTX control settings and turn pit mode off, because it's currently, when you first turn on, it'll be powered on, so you won't be able to see anything. So go into your settings and Betaflight OSD and turn pit mode off. You can also turn pit mode off via the button, but it's a lot more difficult. And if you follow the instructions from Rush, you can do that, but it's really much easier to do it via the Betaflight OSD. So the power levels on this are obviously pit mode 0, 25, 100, 200, and a maximum of 350 milliwatts. I know that some of the other Nano VTXs out there, like the one from Full Speed RC and the Ishi Nano VTX, they go up to like 400 milliwatts. So I don't have, well, I'm not going to be testing the power output with the Immersion RC RF meter because I'm just getting some strange results lately on some of the things I've been testing. So I don't feel like showing these are very useful, and it may cause even more controversy than there already is. So all I can tell you is that on the tests I've seen on all the Rush FPV video transmitters, the power has been either at the level advertised or above. So I don't think that there's going to be any issue with the power. And when I was flying it around, I felt like the power levels were about what they should be. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you the flight demo. I'm actually flying this at the Bando that I flew the CADX Vista a few days ago. So if you're kind of interested in seeing a comparison of analog to digital in a Bando situation with multipathing, you'll be able to see how analog performs there. This is probably one of the better analog video transmitters available, so you can kind of get an idea of how well this does in that environment versus the DJI digital system and what multipathing looks like in that environment. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage and my narration of the flights, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Alright, so let's test out the video transmitter and antenna here. I'm on 25 milliwatts. And I'm going to go behind this trailer here. You can see typical breakup, a lot of metal. Let's go a little further away. Okay, so if I get up, as soon as I get above it, signal's fine. Let's go a little further away. And as long as I have clear line of sight, even on 25 milliwatts, pretty decent signal. A little bit of breakup here and there, even on 25 milliwatts. So this is about what I expected. Let's go ahead and Let's go behind me here and see how much breakup we got behind these buildings. It's gonna I'm probably gonna see a lot of breakup down here. Go behind these trees here, and yep, a lot of breakup. This is typical for 25 milliwatts. I'm gonna go all the way behind this building here. It's pretty bad, but still I can get through it. Alright, so let me change the power, bump it up, and let's see how it performs doing the same routes. Alright, so I'm going to take it all the way to 200. And let's see how it does behind the trailer here. A little bit better. But, as you can see, it is still blocking the signal no matter how much power I have. Maybe at the next power level it might be better, but it's better than 25 milliwatts. But as soon as I clear the metal object, nice and clear signal. It's, yeah, definitely a little bit better here than 25 milliwatts. Nice, I have nice clear line of sight. It's not that much better than 25 milliwatts, but it's definitely better. Alright, so let's go behind that building again. And over here, still getting analog breakup, of course, but better than before. Now they bumped up the power a little bit. And let's go behind this building here. And yeah, it's pretty bad, but way better than 25 milliwatts. Alright, let's bump it up one more time. $350. That's the max. Alright. And let's see how it is behind the metal object again. Yeah, not that much better. I think I would need like a patch antenna or something to try and get through that metal object, but you know, even then it might not help much. But again, as soon as I get above it, clear signal again. Let's go and out here and see how it is. The signal seems fine. By the way, I'm recording this on my SkyZone goggles using the SkyZone analog receiver with two stubby circular polarized antennas, no patch antenna. So I think you get better signal if you're using a patch antenna flying kind of further away like this. I'm just sort of lowest denominator here, you know, kind of like not the greatest receiver setup here, and you can kind of see what to expect. I think with something like a rapid fire, you definitely get better video for sure. All right, let's go back out here again, the max power level. Not too bad, a little bit better, but about the same. I mean, you get a lot of analog breakup here. Totally par for the course. All right, let's go in the building. A little bit better, but a lot of breakup still. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this test and the video transmitter and antenna in the comments. Talk to you guys later.